I don't think you need special gear just to make stuff, just like I don't think you need Obsidian or any other note-taking tool just to create good, useful notes. But here's the thing. I love gear. I love watching videos on the latest hardware. I love trying out different operating systems, and I love buying multiple devices for testing purposes. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I'm using right now in the following categories: computers, mobiles, tablets, e-readers, audio, and wearables. And everything that I mentioned in this video is something that I use daily, without exception. Shout out to Ramesh, who left this comment a few days ago that prompted me to finally make this video. For computers, this is going to be a little bit boring because I am all in on the Apple ecosystem. I do have a few Linux boxes, mainly for servers, and I think I have one Windows laptop that I barely ever use, but my main computers are Apple MacBooks, and that's because I'm kind of tied to that ecosystem because I use Final Cut Pro for editing. My main computer is this MacBook Air 15-inch. It is the M2 version. I just bought it this year, and this is my main workhorse. I maxed out the specs of this laptop because it is the Air version, so I figured I'd need the little extra oomph. So this one has 24 gigabytes of RAM and the 2 terabyte solid state drive. This is also using the M2 chip. Just a really light laptop and one that I've really enjoyed using. My secondary laptop is also a MacBook, but this is a MacBook Pro. It's quite a bit older. I bought it in 2020, so this is the 13-inch Intel chip version. And this is my last personal laptop. So the first one was really something that I use for work. Work paid for it. I still use this laptop a lot for some personal things, including this YouTube channel. Now we get to phones. I love mobile phones so much, I'm always changing it up. Right now my main phone is a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, and the main thing that I love about it is that it's a foldable phone. I really look at this phone as a powerhouse for content consumption. I watch YouTube videos a lot, not just my own, so when I'm watching a video I can have it here, which isn't that great, but I can also open it up, and it's so much bigger, and especially when it's in full screen, I just find it a really nice device. It's small enough that its footprint is still relatively easy to fit into my backpack or my purse, but I also really like the fact that I have this pop socket so that it's just easier to hold. It's also great because it has, at least the case that I have for it, has this stylus. So I can open this up. One thing I often do is I use the Excalidraw plugin for Obsidian on my mobile. So I do this a lot when I'm at a conference, and I can just use the stylus to draw whatever I want. And I can even write on it. The cool thing is that this syncs to my Obsidian desktop. I use this setup a lot when I'm somewhere where I didn't expect to be taking notes, or when I just don't feel like lugging around a laptop or a tablet. Here are some of my notes from Agile Testing Days in Potsdam, Germany a couple days ago. This is what it looks like, and I can zoom in and write stuff as well as draw stuff if I want to, although I'm not much of an artist. I was dubious about getting a foldable phone at first, and admittedly it wasn't a great experience for the first few iterations, but this is now the 5th iteration of the Z Fold series, and I love it. I don't think I could ever go back to having just one phone that doesn't fold out. But that doesn't mean that I don't still like that candy bar kind of form factor, and this is my second phone. This is the Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max. Lots of other people seem to pit the Android phones against iOS. I don't think that there's a need to do that, porque no los dos. I like the Apple iPhone. I don't really like to choose. I think iOS does some things better than Android, and I think Android does some things better than iOS. So I just use both. I kind of use my iPhone more for content creation, specifically for videos. I find that the videos are better with the iPhone, and so recently I've been doing my shorts on the iPhone. But I still prefer the photos from the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, especially because the dual screens means that when I'm taking a selfie, I can use the back camera and still see myself. Plus, the gesture control on Samsung Galaxy phones also makes it a little bit easier to trigger selfies remotely. But the iPhone can be used through continuity camera as a pretty awesome webcam replacement in a pinch. It's small, it's light, I love the magnetic back, it has way more accessories, and just works better with my MacBooks. So I like both. Because two phones isn't enough for me, I also do have an older phone. It is a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. It is a candy bar phone. It also comes with a stylus, although these days I honestly don't use it that much because I use the stylus on my Z Fold 5 more. I still like to use it as like a spare phone. When I'm out and about, I always take the Z Fold 5 and the iPhone, my two main phones, on my person at all times, but this one always just stays in my backpack in the hotel. So I do still use it. I find it useful to like kind of set it up and do time lapses while I still have my other phones. Probably not really something that other people need to do, but I do use it every day still. I have tried a whole lot of tablets. I've tried the Windows ones, Lenovo, I've tried the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9. But the one that I've settled with is actually still just the Apple iPad Pro. This is the 11-inch 2020 version. It still works great, and I just love using it with the Apple Pencil. The power that Apple has managed to pack into these things is really amazing. It's USB-C now, which by the way, the Apple iPhone 15 is as well. So all my things are USB-C finally. And this iPad also does double duty. It can be a secondary screen for me when I'm traveling through Sidecar, and it's also a tablet. I like to read some comics on it, on Comixology, and I also love to use it for taking notes on the go. I've always been a bookworm, and because I've always moved around a lot and I also travel quite a bit, I have also been an early adopter of e-readers in general. I think I've had every iteration of the Kindle and I've loved every single one. So I, at this point, have so much in my Amazon library that it's hard to fully move out of it. So Kindles are still my e-readers of choice. Right now, I'm really loving the Kindle Scribe. It is very different. It does have a stylus. I don't really use it as a note-taking device. I use it kind of like as a couch reader. This always stays on my couch. I like to read nonfiction with it. It is also great for annotating PDFs. It does have a note-taking function. I don't really use it for that, but I do find it really useful to be able to leave handwritten notes and drawings on PDFs. It is a little unwieldy though, it's quite big, and this clipboard kind of thing works well for the couch, but in bed it doesn't work really well. And for that, I have a Kindle Oasis. The Kindle Oasis was my e-reader of choice for a long time. I just love the form factor. It is premium, but I also love this magnetic case for it, and it just fits in my hand a lot better, and I use it for reading fiction most of the time. Right now I'm reading Parallel Lines by Mark McElroy, who's over on the PKM Social Mastodon server. Check it out. Now we're getting to wearables. It's the tech that is literally closest to my body because I'm wearing it. The first is something that I've talked about before. It is my Oura Ring. I kickstarted the very first generation of an Oura Ring, and I think I'm on my third one now. This is actually a gift, but I've also bought it for myself in previous versions, and I also bought it for my husband. So I love this. This is a ring that sits on your finger and tracks a bunch of different metrics about your heart rate and oxygen level, and it is really great for sleep. Sleep is one of the most important things you can optimize when you want to optimize your health, and it makes a huge difference in my mental clarity. So I do make sure to prioritize it. And the Oura Ring is way better than others that I've tried in this kind of industry for sleep tracking in particular. The other wearable that I always have on my wrist is this smartwatch, which may look like my Samsung Galaxy Active 2 that I had not a few months before, but this one came with my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, and it is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. It is a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and it just has like seamless synchronization with my Samsung phone. I really love smartwatches because I work remotely, and when you're working remotely, it's easy to miss kind of meetings that you have with a team because you're no longer in an office where people can just like tap you on the shoulder. And this is my kind of tapping on the shoulder. And it makes me not be late to meetings when I get carried away in code or writing or video creation. And the other wearable that I always have on me, even when I'm sleeping actually, is this American Express Prada wearable. And I really like it because it is very unassuming. It's just a black leather strap, and yet it has a chip that has my details for my American Express card. You can't buy it separately. You have to have an American Express card to get it. But I really like the idea of when I'm traveling, like I could be mugged or something. I mean, who would get just a plain looking leather strap? And that means that even if I lost everything else, like my wallet and my phones and stuff, I'd probably still be able to get a taxi home. And the last category is audio. And I mean, I have 3 phones using 2 different operating systems. So I kind of have 2 different earbuds as well. I have shifted entirely to wireless earbuds. I used to have the over ear kind, but I could never bring it when I was traveling because it's just really bulky. And also on video, I find that it doesn't look very engaging. It looks like someone is very isolated and distant. So I prefer earbuds because I can hide them in my hair and it looks like I'm really there listening to you in a meeting. So I have 2 different ones. One is the Bose Quiet Comfort 2 and the other one is the Apple AirPods Pro. This one is linked always to my laptops and my Apple devices, and this is for everything else. You know, they both can link to different devices at the same time, but I've found that neither does it really well, except for, if it's all Apple or all Samsung. So for me, just having 2 separate earbuds is just way easier than expecting either one of them to connect to all my devices and seamlessly switch when I need it to. You're probably thinking that this is all a bit excessive, and well, yeah, it probably is. But remember, I work and live and breathe in tech on a daily basis. My job requires me to be up to date on the latest and greatest technologies, including hardware. If that's not you, then take this list with a large grain of salt. Everything I mentioned is linked in the description below. What are some of your daily drivers? Let me know in the comments because I'm always interested to hear what other people use on a daily basis. Thanks for watching. Prettig Sinterklaasfeest!